And 95.7 WHIO, Dayton's News and Talk.
Hold on to your panties. The party is about to begin.
I can hardly wait.
I love this show. Check one, check two, check three.
Are we ready?
Check four. You know what? Enough talk. It's showtime. It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call me now, 937-457-1290.
Locally grown, seriously fun on WHIO.
Do not try to adjust your television. We are controlling the transmission. We are in control of the horizontal. No, there's nothing wrong with your set. It's just shock theater. I think I'm going to be sick.
It is the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. A little nostalgia there. One of the show opens from Shock Theater, which aired in this town for many years with none other than Dr. Creep. There's a very good reason I played that tonight. We're going to get to it here in a little bit. Also on the show tonight, in the 6 o'clock hour, we have a special guest in the studio, Johnny Catalano. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Johnny? From the Plaza Theater. He's going to be here. We're going to be talking about Night of the Living Dead, which is happening next Saturday, the 28th. Evening Edge night there at the Plaza, 7 o'clock. Night of the Living Dead with a special Q&A following by John Russo, one of the co-writers of that classic zombie flick. And we will have tickets to give away for that tonight. Also, we're going to touch on the story today about the Golden Nugget being purchased. So hopefully we'll get more details as to what it's going to be. Also, we have some Cher news. I know people are excited about Cher, so we're going to get to that. Jason Michaels has popped in the studio. What's happening, Jason?
Yeah, Cher and Cher alike. But anyway, we do have the situation getting a little better on northbound I-75 at the entrance ramp to northbound I-675. One lane is open there, and at least you're getting around on the left lane. Another problem area up to the northern Miami Valley. Southbound 75 at Route 33. That is the Bellefontaine St. Mary's exit. Best way to get around that one lane blockage there, I believe it's the left lane, is to exit somewhere before Wapakoneta, take a county road into Wapak, pick up County Road 25A and go south. You can rejoin around State Route 274.
Very good. Thank you so much, Jason. 937-457-1290. All right, so here's why I played that little clip from Shock Theater and that laugh. Oh, man, that laugh. Dr. Creep. So for people who aren't originally from the Miami Valley, didn't live here in the 70s and 80s, and even into the 90s, there was a guy in town named Dr. Creep. And he would host a late night sort of horror TV show. They'd show really, really bad, really, really cheesy horror movies. And he'd do silly comedic skits. He had a cast of characters. One year, I think he ran for president. It was just a lot of fun. And there is a great tradition with TV horror hosts. They're always a little kooky, a little weird, a little strange, but it's always a lot of fun. And that was one of my favorite things growing up here in Dayton, was watching Shock Theater. He was also on a daytime kids show called Clubhouse 22. And I just loved that character. He was so fun. He wasn't scary at all. He was kind of a comedic buffoon, if you're being honest, but he was great. He was just great. And I've always had this dream of trying to bring a character like that to life for today's world. Now, on Me TV, which is one of our sister stations, our TV station here, on Saturday nights, they host a show called Svengoolie. And he's a little bit like that, right? He's a little bit in that tradition of kooky, cheesy, dorky jokes, sight gags. He's all dressed up in a goofy costume. And you can see him tomorrow night. He's going to be on Me TV. I think it starts like around 7 or 8 or something like that. But I've always wanted to bring back a character like that. Well, I've had some discussions with some folks inside this building and outside this building that there is a possibility that we can do something like that, that I could bring back, or not even bring back, not bring back Dr. Creep, because Dr. Creep was Dr. Creep. He was great, but he can't be replaced. You know, somebody can't come along and say, oh, I'm going to be that guy. No, you can't. Now, you could do it for fun, you know, like at a costume party maybe this weekend, tomorrow night. You could do that. But I'm talking about creating a new character. And I've got some ideas, but nothing has just grabbed hold of me yet. So I thought tonight, being Friday, being the spooky season, you know, Halloween's in a week or so. A lot of people are going to Halloween parties this weekend and next weekend. And it's that time of the year, right? There's pumpkins, there's scarecrows, there's ghosts in my front yard, and many others. So what I thought, and I know the Edgeheads are super, super creative. We have such a creative group of listeners that listen to this show. I thought, well, let's just brainstorm. Let's just have an on-air brainstorming session and come up with an idea or a couple of ideas. Kooky fun, a character, somebody that could be on TV late at night, on the weekends, you know, maybe with, during the Svengoolie show on Me TV, or if nothing else on YouTube, or just on this show once in a while. I feel like there's something there, but we just have to tap into it. You know, that was such a great age of media in Dayton. If you were around in the 70s and the 80s, early 90s, it was just very rich with characters. And I would love to try to bring that back. And with your help, I think we could do it. So if you've got any ideas, let's talk about them tonight. 937-457-1290. And you know what they say? There are no bad ideas, right? I mean, you could come in with something completely outlandish that maybe sounds silly, but someone else could hear that, and that triggers another idea, right? And that's how the creative process works. So I know, like I said, we have got very, very creative people that listen to this show. So if you got any ideas, 937-457-1290. Let's talk about it. Also, we have a car into a building. Yeah, believe it or not.
You crashed your car.
Never a dull moment.
Spectacular car crash. House car.
Well, this happened early this morning around 7:30. Officers are investigating after a vehicle crashed into a building. This was at the intersection of North Kiwi Street and Hunter Avenue. No report of injuries, but it does count. It's on our list, and that's 125 for the year, 125. And I go to my trusty list of guesses, which really I should just keep in the studio, but I don't, and then I can never find it. Here we go. 125 on the list. Now, remember, the record is 200, or I'm sorry. No, that's not the record. The record is 126, and that happened in 2016. So now we're up to 125, and the person that guessed that is Rick in Dayton. He made that guess on August 14th. So, Rick, you are in the running for being awarded the title of I don't know what we're going to call that, but we have a cool trophy that we'll put your name on. But again, Rick is probably not going to win because we're at 125 and we still have a number of months left. So enjoy it while you can, Rick. 937-457-1290. Bob in Kettering. What's up, Bob? Yeah. What's going on, buddy?
Not a lot, but I got an idea for you. Do you remember Gary Burbank from 700 WW?
I love Burbank. Yes.
Yeah. I think somebody like Earl Pitts or something like that would work out for you.
Well, it's got to be something that's a little spooky, a little creepy, sort of Halloweeny, right? It's got to have some sort of Halloweeny feel. Halloweeny feel.
Elvira had a good clue on that.
Who did?
Elvira.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, but somebody like that. If you got an idea like that. Another Bob in Springfield. What's going on, Bob?
Hey, this is a little bit off that, but you were talking about Dr. Creep and Shock Theater and then Clubhouse 22.
Yeah.
I remember, Dr. Creep, and you had Duffy the dog and Stan the man.
Yeah.
What was the host name on there?
Where there were two. Actually, I think there might have been three. I've heard that very, very early on, Johnny Walker, who was a well-known personality back in the day, may have hosted maybe a season or something. And then there was Joe Smith, there was Malcolm McLeod, and then there was Joe Smith.
Okay, I think I was because I was on that show when I think it was Joe Smith.
Yeah, I was on it too one time with my Cub Scout troop and actually got to play a game on the show, which was kind of fun. And it was with Joe Smith. Well, it was some video game. They called it PAL. It was just kind of the early video game for sure.
Yeah, I got to play Picador.
Kind of like Pong, it was kind of like that. Yeah. All right, Bob. I appreciate your call, buddy. Have a good one. Now line's open, 937-457-1290. If you got any ideas, let's get them going here.
What am I listening to now?
What is this?
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's a radio show. It's entertainment.
Fill it up.
T-O.
Double D.
H.
Oh.
Double L.
S-T. I can remember that.
Locally grown, seriously funny.
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
On WHIO.
Had to step out for a second. Little cold. Had to turn off the air conditioning. Woo! So, how's everybody doing tonight? Yes, Jared, I got your text. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's see. Hey, Melody, how you doing? Hi, Larry. Hi, Will. Clinton, what's going on? Hey, Paul. Hey, Ronnie. Yeah, Shock Theater was great. Just a lot of fun and a lot of silliness. That's what made it so good. Just silly and ridiculous. Hey, Heather. Hi, Kim. What's going on, David? Leslie, how have you recovered from the candy corn grilled cheese? Somebody else made one. I don't know if you saw that. Somebody posted it on my Facebook page. Someone else tried making it, and they didn't think it was that bad. Well, be safe. Boy, chili sounds good. Chili. Yes.
Hey, yo, this ain't making headlines, but we're about to be.
Any creative ideas for characters? Really would love to come up with something solid. I've got some ideas. Maybe I'll chat about. Actually, I've got like a whole cast of characters that I've come up with. But the Cool Ghoul from Cincinnati. Yeah. Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7, talking about TV horror hosts, specifically Dr. Creep, Dayton legend, the late, great Barry Hobart, who's Dr. Creep for decades. One of my favorite shows was Shock Theater, and of course he was on Clubhouse 22. And I've got this dream, this long-held dream, to create a character like that I could portray and have some fun with. Go to haunted houses, do charity events, do some TV, be ridiculous. So we're looking for some creative ideas. I got one from Chris. He just messaged me, and I kind of like this. Says, hey, I was listening to the show, and I had an idea for a Halloween type thing that you could do. You are a DJ in the future, and you've gotten a hold of a phone time machine. You are only able to call back to this time period. In the future, all the holidays that we know don't exist. So the DJ wants to know what people are doing, wearing, and eating. That last part, it kind of went, just like, what? But I love the idea of a DJ in the future. There could be something there, some sort of kooky, futuristic DJ. Let's see, Wayne and Franklin. What's up, Wayne?
Hey, buddy, like the show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You could be the Reverend Reaper in the Ghoulish Ministry.
Ooh, a bit wordy, but I like it. I like it. Now, what sort of character do you sort of see this person as?
Well, you'd be like, hey, do you remember in wrestling, Paul Bear? How he wore that white makeup?
Yeah.
An urn.
Right.
You could do that. Carry, I don't know, a pitchfork.
A pitchfork would work.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll just have to get creative on that.
Well, see, this is what I'm saying, and this is all part of the process, Wayne, all part of the creative process. You come up with an idea, somebody else adds to it, somebody changes it a little bit. That's the way it works. All right. I appreciate your call, buddy. That line's open, 937-457-1290. Real quickly, Dave in Greenville. What's up, Dave?
Yeah, so I had this idea to take Stephen King's It, cross it with like Bozo the Clown.
Okay.
But instead of trying to take children down into the sewer like they do in the movies, change it up a little bit, and he's actually trying to like avenge his father that was killed in front of him that worked for the circus.
Okay. Clowns are creepy. There's no question about it. People find clowns a little creepy. I appreciate that idea. Thanks, Dave.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
I missed.
I-675, which was closed earlier due to an accident right there on the ramp from northbound I-75. I am picking up that after drive time, they may close that ramp down again. On southbound I-75, one shoulder is blocked just beyond State Route 48, Main Street and Grand Avenue. I saw it on the cameras. It's been pulled over to the side of the road, and it apparently is not going to be that big of a problem. I am also seeing a crash on East 7th Street, just off of I-75 near Rock Media Theater. If you're going that way, keep that in mind. I'm Jason Michael.
Uh, somebody's calling in, and they're putting him on hold, and he goes by the name Death God. That's funny. Well, this ought to be good. On line one, we have Death God. Gird your loins. We'll see, Heather. We'll see. I don't know. Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7, talking about TV horror hosts like Dr. Creep, like Sven Gulli, or the Cool Ghoul. Remember him down in Cincinnati? He was big. I've got this idea of bringing back that kind of character today. Just like, Dr. Creep was, my God, when Dr. Creep would show up at a haunted house or a school or wherever, whatever charity event he would do the MDA telethon. He'd show up and man, oh man, it was like Elvis had just entered the building. People loved him. And I've got this idea that I want to bring something like that back. And I would be that guy. I would be the goofball, right? The lovable goon. And we're looking for ideas. We're looking for creative ideas. And Cassie just sent me one on Messenger. Said instead of the Tales of the Crypt guy, you could be the Tales of the Cheez-It guy. I knew it wouldn't take long before somebody worked Cheez-It into it. We got an idiot of the week real quick. This is good.
You are a
and I promise we'll
idiot.
Comes from
get back to the call.
Probably idiots too.
Idiot! Wake up, idiot!
Silly dilly dilly, I'm an idiot. Yeah, that's true.
Well, this is from Queensland. A 36-year-old guy is missing after jumping into a river during a police chase. So officers showed up at this guy's house. They were going to serve a warrant, and he took off running. Took off running down the street, and he jumped into a nearby river. Now, that happens. That's happened here. We've seen video and heard stories of people running from the police and running across the Miami River, because the Great Miami River in some areas you can run across. Not terribly deep. The problem is, unlike our river here, the river that he jumped in is known for crocodiles and bull sharks. So this guy was running from the cops, took a leap into shark-infested and crocodile-infested waters to avoid being arrested. Well, here's the thing. He's missing now. They don't know if he made it across. They don't think he did. They heard him yell for help, and then he disappeared. So something underneath got a hold of him. Now, my question is, what crime was he in trouble for, right? If it was something that would put him away for a long, long time, all right, maybe I would take my chance. Maybe I would take my chance and try to swim across the croc-infested, shark-infested river. But if it was just something, not big of a deal, I don't know that you take that chance. So I think that's kind of idiotic for sure. Jason Michaels is here. We got traffic.
We just want to pass along to you that right now traffic is moving in one lane from northbound 75 to northbound I-675. I did pick up word that they may close the ramp again after drive time to finish up on those repairs. We'll have to see. It would be closed till about 9:30 is what I got. Also, southbound I-75 in the area of Main Street, we have an accident over there. It's been moved over to the left berm, so traffic is moving through there. It's just going to take you a little while to get around.
Thank you very much, Jason. 937-457-1290. Okay. Do I want to take this call? Line 1. Death God? Is this you?
Yes, this is the Death God, and I want to be your new MC for your show.
I don't think so. Thank you for the offer, though. Harley in Piqua, what's going on, Harley?
Oh, well, you're talking Dr. Creep brought back a memory for me.
Okay.
Back in 1974, I was on the high school cross country team. We were on our way home on a bus from a cross country meet. Dr. Creep pulled up right behind us at the exit ramp.
Was he in a hearse?
No.
Didn't he drive a hearse? I thought he drove a hearse.
He was just in his own car.
Okay. And he was in full makeup. Full makeup, obviously, right?
Oh, yeah. He was on the whole thing, or, we wouldn't have known who he was.
Right.
First, we waved back at forth at each other. But the light was long enough. 4 guys in the back got the bright idea to give him a 4-way moon. And he got a big kick out of it.
Well, I'm sure he did. Barry Hobart had a great sense of humor. That's funny. Thank you, Harley. Ron in Verona. What's up, Ron?
Yeah, well, somebody stole my thunder because you mentioned the Cool Ghoul. But I was going to mention a horror host when I was stationed in Virginia. They had Dr. Mad Blood from his mansion in the Dismal Swamp.
Dr. Mad Blood?
Dr. Mad Blood. And then I got a suggestion for you.
Yes.
Okay?
That's what I'm looking for. I love all these people commenting on former TV show horror hosts. That's great, but I'm really looking for ideas too on how to create, like an idea for a new character.
Okay, well, now here's your idea. Now you either do a Peter Lorre imitation or you do an imitation of Jack Nicholson from The Shining, and you're Mr. Mephistopheles from 666 Hades Drive in Hell, Ohio.
Well, that's not bad. That's a lot to remember, but I like that. There's a lot of depth there, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You just take that and work with it.
All right. Thanks, Ron. I appreciate it. Let's see. We got Gary in New Carlisle. What's up, Gary?
Hey, maybe you could get Brittany Ritz, and she could be Psycho Karen.
Psycho Karen. Well, what? Yeah. She's not gonna. She's not gonna be on a horror show.
Well, she would.
Though I will say, I've thought and I think this might be one of the first times she's done weather during my show. If I ever get the opportunity to have her in the studio, I have an idea for a song for her. Remember, I did one for Dante Jones. I've got one for Gabby. I had one for McCall Fried Eggs when she was here. I had one for who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting somebody. But if Brittany comes on, I've got an idea for a walk-on song for her. So we'll see. Maybe we'll see what happens. I don't know. Let's see. Cheryl and Troy. What's up, Cheryl?
Hey, Todd.
Hey.
How are you doing?
Good. I'm well.
Good. Hey, I had called in Wednesday and won some KISS tickets.
Yes.
And so we went last night, and I just wanted to thank you because my husband and I had the best time, and it was such a good concert. And something that happened that we had never seen at a concert before, that Paul Stanley said that, we are living in some troubling times, but we do live in the best country in the world. And he led the crowd in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, well, that was cool.
And the crowd started chanting USA, USA. And we just thought it was so nice.
A nice experience, something you didn't expect.
Yeah. And again, just thank you for the tickets. We had a fabulous time.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, Cheryl. Thank you so much for calling. I appreciate that. Yeah, I had a number of friends of mine went to KISS last night. Tommy and Dayton, what's up, Tommy?
Hey, Dr. Creed, all of them. There were some other horror shows. You guys are young before them. Bob Cher, the Evening Theater. They used to drink all night.
Bob Sheave?
Bob Cher on your channel, WHIO.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that. Yeah.
Okay, but let me tell you something about Dr. Creed.
Okay.
He did have that hearse, that Cadillac 69, I think it was. Anyway, it broke down. I grew up right down the street from where 22 was.
Okay.
Well, it breaks down. He's in full makeup in the hearse. And it stopped right down there, guys. He gets out the car, and the little kids around freaked out.
Oh, sure.
They thought they had seen Satan himself.
That's funny.
I forget his name. He was a real good guy. I used to run into him all the time.
Yeah, Barry Hobart was a really super sweet guy and did a lot of charity work and had a huge heart. So, but see, this is what I'm saying. And thanks for your call, Tommy. I want to bring somebody. I want to bring a character like that back. I feel like we're missing it. We're missing something. And there's got to be somebody. It's me that can do that. That would be great. And I just need creative ideas. Again, I love all the memories and all the nostalgia of hosts of the past, but I'm looking for creative ideas. And I know we have creative listeners, so hit me up.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
All right, sorry about that. Had to pop off. My guest is here for next hour. So now, Tina, I'll tell you what, I like that idea of if nothing else, just the a podcast, like a horror podcast. I mean, I'm already doing the dark edge, though we haven't done an episode in a while. But I like that idea. Yeah, and it's definitely got to have a funny voice or a weird voice, you know? Thank you. During the commercial breaks. Right. Yeah, so if I'm talking and I start talking to somebody, that's what I'm doing.
Gotcha. I won't be taking off. I'll be all right.
That was weird. All right.
These are for you, Todd. Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7, talking about TV horror hosts. Great tradition in this country, especially the last, I don't know, I mean, we've got Svengali right now, right? He's on Me TV. We had Dr. Creep, of course, he was big time here. Folks in Cincinnati, you know, have memories of the Cool Ghoul and folks like that. But I am looking for an idea to bring back a character like that. I want to create a character that could do that kind of thing, like what Dr. Creep used to do. And I've got some ideas, and I've been talking to some folks who do this sort of thing, and we're making some progress. But I know we have very, very creative listeners to the Evening Edge. And I just thought, well, this would be a good conversation to have. It's Halloween season. A lot of people are going to be going out and doing Halloween stuff this weekend. So why not? 937-457-1290. Darlene in Springfield. What's up, Darlene?
Hi.
Hey.
I thought something original. I think it would be nice in a morgue, and it would be Mr. Morque, and you could pull out the tables with different characters, monsters every week.
Oh, it's sort of be like okay, in a morgue, and I'm like a coroner of some sort, or what was the name that you said?
Well, it would be spelled morgue, but pronounced Mr. Morque.
Morque. I like that idea. That's a good one.
It's a start.
I got that. All right, thank you. Let's see, Randy in Fort Laramie. What's up, Randy?
Hey, what's going on, Todd?
How are you, man?
Actually, I'm from Vandalia, but we're camping up here.
Okay, well,
state park.
Well, it's a tough weekend for camping. Holy crap! It's raining and it's gonna get cold. Holy, I wouldn't want to do.
But this is where you get your sleep caught up.
Well, I suppose that's true. That's true.
Well, I got a character for you.
Yes.
Barry Casket.
Barry.
His name would be Barry Casket.
Okay.
And he'd be a deranged worker at the cemetery.
So like a grave digger.
Yeah, he'd be a grave digger. His name's Barry Casket.
You know something? It's funny. Is years ago I played the part of a grave digger at Bonnybrook Farms when they had a Halloween trail, and I was deranged, of course, deranged grave digger, and I smoked a pipe and I carried a shovel.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yep, and I used to like swat flies out of my face, even though there was nothing there.
See,
yeah.
Well, you already beat me to it.
Yeah,
see,
just a little nutty.
I thought about you like in a utility garage, and you can have your old tractor be in the background.
Yeah.
And so anyway, that's my thing.
It's a good idea. Thank you so much, Randy. I appreciate it. Now, see, those are the kind of creative ideas that I'm thinking about.
What am I listening to now?
What is this?
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's a radio show. It's entertainment.
Fill it up.
T-O.
Double D.
H.
Oh.
Double L.
S-T. I can remember that.
Locally grown, seriously funny.
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
On WHIO.
Yes, Ken, my mic was off. I'm talking to my guest. I have a guest coming up. All right. Here we go. Here we go.
try to adjust your television. We are controlling the transmission. We are in control of the horizontal. No, there's nothing wrong with your set. It's just shock theater. I think I'm going to be sick.
That laugh, my gosh, Dr. Creep. This is the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Talking about TV horror hosts. I've got this long-held idea, this dream of bringing back that whole genre of TV horror hosts. That now they're still out there. And we've got Svengoolie, who's on MeTV, but he's not a local guy. He's in Chicago, or at least he used to be out of Chicago. But I want to be that character for Dayton. I have the platform. I got a show. We got the interwebs. I've got MeTV. Might be able to do something there. We could use somebody like that in the Miami Valley. I feel like I could do that. But I'm looking for creative ideas. I have a bunch written down. I've been talking to folks who are into this, and we've come up with some good ideas. But I know, look, Edgeheads are super creative, and I'm looking for people who have ideas that we can just sort of brainstorm. It's just sort of an on-air brainstorm. So if you got one, 937-457-1290. Now, joining me in the studio is a guy by the name of Johnny Catalano. Johnny, that's such a cool name, man. Johnny Catalano. Johnny is the manager of the Plaza Theater down there in Miamisburg. He's also, we've determined the word curator would be good.
Be a good one.
You are going to take over from our good friend Doug Sorrell down there, the Century and Cinema program in January there at the Plaza Theater. It's kind of an education thing, right? Where you guys show different classic films and there's discussions. And
for sure. The best thing I could compare it to is like TCM. So when it's a TCM film,
hang
they
on.
do a little intro.
Hang on for 1 second. Hang on. I'm having a technical issue. Hold on. Let me put the show on hold for 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right, let's try this again. I don't know what happened there, but when I popped you on the air, here we go. How about now? Go ahead and talk.
Hello.
Yes, it's working now. It's working now.
Hey.
You believe it? I actually fixed that myself, Ron.
All right.
All right. Sorry about that, folks. Sorry about that. So anyway, you're here, and thank you. And it's
absolutely.
A great name, a cool name.
I appreciate that.
And we're really here because we want to talk about the Evening Edge night next Saturday, the 28th, there at the Plaza Theater, Night of the Living Dead.
That's right. Yeah.
This is going to be huge. The movie's great, and it's sort of the seminal kind of zombie film, modern day zombie film that kind of opened up the floodgates.
Yes, I mean, absolutely. It did essentially create a whole subgenre of films that we could trace, all the way to Walking Dead. There's that new Daryl Dixon show.
Sure.
I mean, without Night of the Living Dead, there would be none of the, Call of Duty zombies. There would be none of that. It created it was a precursor to all of that,
I know, because we talked about it on the show already, that there were some zombie films prior to that.
Yeah.
But when you look back, I mean, there were only like 3 or 4. I mean, there weren't a ton of them that sort of people might remember or hear about.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and they're kind of different zombies. So that you had like White Zombie with Bela Lugosi, which was a lot more had to do with kind of voodoo and mind control and stuff like that.
Right.
And, Carnival of Souls, which we're playing tonight at the Plaza Theater, kind of had a ghoulish type, villain or person following the woman in the film. But the whole flesh eating concept was actually devised by John Russo in the screenwriting phase,
Right.
from the stories that he's told, and
and
Romero.
and you mentioned John Russo. I mean, that is the second part of this special night next Saturday, the 28th. It's not just this great screening of a wonderful movie, a historic movie, but John Russo himself will be there doing a Q&A.
Yes, live in person. Mr. Russo, who's 84 years old, still going strong.
Yeah.
He's going to be there, doing a Q&A for any type of question you may have about the production of the film, his career, past that, like the legacy of the film, of course,
Right.
And he'll be there doing, autographs, pictures, all that type of stuff. It's going to be a really great night for anybody who's just a fan of the genre, a fan of the film, or, never seen the film before, and you can hear it firsthand, like the production stories, which are crazy.
I would say that when you think of movie genres, the two that stick out in my mind, obviously science fiction, but horror is just sort of like, I think, over the top.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, and what's neat about it is that if you've got a crazy idea, it can somehow become a movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like any crazy monster, any sort of scenario, whatever it is. It certainly, those types of things, horror certainly lends itself to those kinds of ideas. right?
Absolutely. And it's a really great genre for, first time filmmakers to really dive into, like Romero did and Russo did at that time. It's one of those genres that sells, and you could put anything that says a title like Night of the Living Dead. What's not going to sell about that? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Now maybe, I mean, and I'm sure he'll address this. Somebody will ask the question, but and maybe why in 1968 when that film was released, and I'm assuming they probably filmed it partially in 67, maybe early 68, whatever. What was the reason that they went black and white?
So they did it for budget.
Okay.
Because they wanted to shoot on 35 millimeter, which was, essentially, that was considered, what Hollywood film shot on.
Right,
16 millimeter was kind of the, what cheaper film shot on, stuff that's played at the drive-ins, stuff like that. But they wanted a little more class to the film, shooting it on 35 millimeter, but 35 millimeter color stock costs a lot more than black and white. So to go with 35, they decided to do black and white. Which at 68, like there's still sort of that period where it's like, it was more like 70, it was kind of getting 50-50 with black and white color films. But, once like The Graduate came out, that late 60s kind of like Easy Rider, it kind of went all to color after that. But you had like Raging Bull and stuff like that. But those were kind of one-offs,
And the other thing that was historic about that film was that, and I read this somewhere, that like one of the main characters, I think sort of the lead, was African-American, was black. And at that time, for that sort of genre of film, that really hadn't happened
for any
before.
genre of film.
Right.
Of that
True. That
period,
is true.
To be honest,
it's fair point.
Yeah, you mean you had Guess Who's Coming to Dinner with Sidney Poitier, but that it was kind of interesting that the Night of the Living Dead didn't make it about his race. He just happens to be a guy in the film. And to me, that makes it a little more timeless in a sense. Because you watch those like some of those Sidney Poitier films, and they're kind of hitting you over the head with the message.
Yeah,
and stuff.
there's a statement being made
for sure. And the reason they picked Dwayne, and this is all stories Russo could tell incredibly, probably better than I could, but he was the best actor that they knew. And
that makes sense.
They were writing the script, they actually had no color involved with the character. And they just didn't change anything about the script once they cast the black man. So it's really, it's still all that subtext is there from the racial tension of the time. But they don't, nobody ever makes a comment on the color of his skin, which is really powerful, I think.
One of the things we've talked about on the show a couple of times in promoting the movie is the fact that what you find is in a lot of these zombie movies or zombie series, the zombies often aren't the most dangerous characters.
No.
It's really the factions that are created between non-infected humans going after each other for resources or revenge or whatever it might be. and it's not really the zombies. It's
I think the zombies strip the humans down to their most primal,
Right.
emotions, and unfortunately, a lot of that leads to some pretty contentious behavior
Well,
between human beings.
I've wondered while we've been promoting this, it's like I wonder if that was sort of a intent, like the psychological aspect of writing a script like this. Were they writing it from the standpoint of let's sort of examine human behavior when it comes to a crisis? Or were they just trying to do a monster movie? It's like, because you can really look at it in both ways.
I mean, guess me as a filmmaker, like having made, films and been a part of several films, it's always hard to know like what an audience is going to perceive from anything. You know what I mean? You can make a film about what you think it's about, but then once it's out to the world, they're going to put all their intent on it. I think that, the group of filmmakers making Night of the Living Dead were genuine artists. Like, they were inspired. Romero was inspired by the European cinema and a lot of the, art cinema coming from, New York and all that type of stuff. So there's definitely a lot of artistic intent for sure.
Well, we got to take a break, but we'll talk
absolutely.
about that coming back. But just sort of how visually artistic it really is.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's not just point the camera and let's act, right?
No.
Yeah, it's much different than that. So we're going to talk about that. Also, I want to talk to you about your ideas for a kooky, creepy, spooky character that I could portray. Here on the show and elsewhere. 937-457-1290.
What am I listening to now?
What is this?
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's a radio show. It's entertainment.
Fill it up.
Double D.
Double L. S-T. I can remember that.
Locally grown, seriously funny.
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
On WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7, in the studio with Johnny Catalano. Catalano.
How are you doing, sir?
He's from, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. He's from the Plaza Theatre down in Miamisburg. He's the manager there, and we were talking about Night of the Living Dead. Next Saturday, the 28th, it's Evening Edge night there at the Plaza. We're going to be showing that movie, along with a post-screening Q&A with John Russo. He is the co-writer of that film. So we're going to get back to that here in a few, but I've got some folks who have some ideas for a creative Halloween character for TV. So let's talk to Kathy in New Knoxville. What's going on, Kathy?
Hi there.
Hey.
I was just thinking about school where you could dress up like a creepy nun with your ruler in your hand, or somebody else like an old school marm, and then in each room of this eerie schoolhouse there would be a different person or genre or movie. That could go on forever.
Yeah, it could. That's quite in depth. Somebody suggested a zombie Fonzie.
Oh, yeah, everybody's got to love Fonzie.
A Fonzie. Oh, yeah, I was a big Fonzie fan. A Fonzie who is a zombie, who's not as cool as he used to be, but he still wears his leather jacket.
But that would work.
That would work. Thanks, Kathy. Neil in Beaver Creek. What's up, Neil?
Hey, what's going on, Todd?
How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. Hey, I was thinking about how that a large percentage of these shows that show the movies are on the afternoons, and how that when I went to Beaver Creek, I come home from school waiting for the fam to get together, and I'd watch these shows, and they were like, Clubhouse 22,
right?
Glory,
yeah,
blah blah blah. Well, I was thinking that a genre we could use would be magical mascots.
Magical mascots.
Yeah, where you could actually advertise for who is going to be up next.
Okay.
For the magical mascot, like the Beaver Creek Beaver.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
And an aspiring magician could get up there and do some magic tricks.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Magicians always
allude to the flick.
I got you. Yeah.
And you could always have like an Elvira character being his.
Yeah, you've got the whole TV show planned out, Neil. It sounds like you've got the whole thing ready to go. I love that. Thank you for that. 937-457-1290. We'll take more of your calls on that. Also, we'll dig a little more into the Night of the Living Dead.
What am I listening to now?
What is this?
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's a radio show. It's entertainment.
Fill it up.
Double D.
Double L.
S-T. I can remember that.
Locally grown, seriously funny.
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
On WHIO.
Yeah, people can listen to our conversation. Yeah. When I was on Clubhouse 22 with my scout troop, it was cool seeing Joe Smith, and Duffy the dog was just Duffy the dog. It was somebody in a costume, But Dr. Creep, man, it was just like he was the deal, He was
Yeah.
the deal. It was so fun, and it was just so silly. And the fact that, you know, he started doing that because they needed something in the evenings to
Yeah.
try to boost some of their ratings.
Right. Yeah.
And he had this idea, I guess, for this character. And I
Yeah.
can't remember if Dr. Creep was first on Shock Theater and then Clubhouse 22,
Yeah.
or if it was the other way around. Like he started on Clubhouse 22 and then started doing Shock Theater. I don't know. But either way, they let him do whatever he wanted to do.
Yeah.
You know? And that's to do something creative like that, you sort of have to have that freedom.
Yeah,
And they gave it to him.
Yeah. I mean, that was a very, experimental period.
Yeah.
I feel like for television and,
Yeah.
and all that films, even it's taking a chance on like a Dr. Creep, what
Yeah,
I mean? But
yeah.
like it ended up paying off, and
Right.
I think having those like kind of like local legends where people, when they come out, like you're one of them, like when people come out and they get excited, just to, because like it's not like there's like stars coming in and out of Dayton, you know what I mean?
Well,
So-
and I've growing up here, I understand. I use the term adoration loosely.
Yeah.
But I understand when people might meet me or meet others, especially our TV folks.
Yeah.
Because you're right, we don't get a lot of big stars that
Not
and there aren't celebrity sightings,
No,
though I did
no.
meet John Boy the other day
Oh,
from
well,
the
there you go.
Waltons.
Yeah, because he was at the
yeah.
at the Schuster, yeah.
But so people like me, again, not egotistically, but we're sort of that.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
for,
but we
you know,
need those. You know
right,
what I mean?
well,
That's,
it's
I think
fun.
it's necessary for
It's fun.
for just
Yeah.
regional, cultural and arts. You know what I mean? Just having those around.
I was walking into a Goodwill the other day with my wife to pick up part of my costume.
Yeah.
And some woman said something about, "Oh, you shop at the same place that I do. I love you on the radio."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, well."
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how I remember when I was younger. Yeah, like my mom said she became friends with like one of the anchors. I grew up more towards Cincinnati area. One of the
Okay.
anchors, I think on Local 12, and I was like,
All right.
wow.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But like that's just you just get excited about that.
Yeah.
Stuff, people you see on the TV or radio every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, just having like like Romero was that. He was kind of like the filmmaker in Pittsburgh for a long time. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Unfortunately he passed, but he brought a lot of film and work to the Pittsburgh area.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's important. I think not just moving out to New York or Los Angeles. Or
Right.
anything like that.
Right. Well, I agree with you because there's a few folks that I've met. In fact, I had Alan Farst on
Oh yeah,
my show
yeah. Mhm,
recently.
mhm. He's premiering at
yeah,
Plaza.
yeah. His football
Mhm.
movie's gonna be there.
Yeah.
Couple years ago, I had J. Todd Anderson.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Mhm.
and it's like, and I know you've done film, and
Yeah.
it's like we've got people in this market
For sure. Yeah.
that can do and have done
Mhm.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I want to tap that.
Mhm. Yeah. No. Yeah.
It's like I would love to be a part of the conversation and projects.
Yeah.
And trying to, do stuff that we can do here.
Well, that's what I mean. Like Romero, like in Night of the Living Dead at the end, the dude, the news anchor,
Mhm.
he was Bill Cardell, who was the horror host in Pittsburgh.
Ah,
So like it was all
Yeah.
connected. He used like a
Yeah.
lot of people in the TV and media in Pittsburgh, so it all could be connected. And
Yeah.
Who's going to support you more, people living here, or is it going to be
Right.
everybody who wants you to fail out in Los Angeles? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's-
Exactly.
everyone's out for themselves.
Too much competition and too cutthroat.
Yeah, yeah. Should go throw for me for sure.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. In the studio with me, Johnny Catalano from the Plaza Theater. He's the manager there. And, of course, next Saturday, the 28th, it's Evening Edge night. Night of the Living Dead. We're going to be showing that at 7 o'clock, I think is start time.
Yeah, so there's actually a 4 o'clock showing as well.
Right, 4 o'clock, and then the Evening Edge portion of it. I'll be out there 7 o'clock. And then following that, the Q&A with John Russo, who was co-writer of that film. If you would like to go, give my producer Parker a call. Be the fifth caller, 937-457-1290. And we will hook you up with a pair of tickets for Evening Edge night there at the Plaza. Now, Johnny, he's a movie director, filmmaker in his own right. And we've been talking a little bit off the air about Night of the Living Dead and ideas for TV horror characters or whatever. But one of the things that we were discussing about that film, about Night of the Living Dead, is that it was done in a very visually artistic sort of way.
Mm-hmm.
It was sort of an early horror film, right?
Yeah.
It was sort of launched the genre of zombies,
mm-hmm.
To a large extent. But it was really done in an artistic way. It wasn't just sort of, put the camera on the sticks and point it and let's just play. It
mm-hmm.
was... I don't want to say I would compare it to Fellini,
yeah.
but it's been a long time since I've seen that film, eight and a half.
Yeah.
But I remember there being sort of shots that were similar, kind of skewed, weird perspectives in Night of the Living Dead, which really added to sort of the feel and the suspense and everything.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, like I was saying a little bit earlier, Romero was in his collaborators, I guess you could call him, with Russo and Russell Schreiner.
Right.
Just a bunch of film nerds really at that time, who were going to art house cinemas in Pittsburgh, and seeing, the Fellinis, the Bergmans, those types of films. And they all said that the reason Romero, so, it was kind of like pick out of a hat what role you were going to play at Night of the Living Dead, so Russell Schreiner ended up being the producer, and then Romero ended up being a director because he just had an eye. He had an incredible filmmaking eye, and it is shot very beautifully with stark contrast, black and white contrast, and very moody and atmospheric. I think the atmosphere is really what sets it apart, makes it really timeless in my mind.
Right.
As far as just like the emotions he evokes with the camera and the music, even, which was like library music, like cheap or free to use.
Right. Yeah. Public domain type
right.
stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's very, very interesting. Now, I know that there was a couple of years ago, didn't they try to redo it, or they did something?
Mm-hmm.
I've not heard a lot of great things about that. I've not seen it. Have you seen it? Do you know anything about it?
I haven't seen it, so I don't really want to say anything positive or negative, but all I know is that, it was basically made so, for anyone who doesn't know, Night of the Living Dead is a public domain film.
Okay.
For reasons, they kind of got, in a dirty deal with a distributor who basically, stole the copyright from them. So they lost the copyright, and, for years, Romero, Russo, all those guys were trying to get that copyright back. One of the ways they did it was remaking it. And Tom Savini, who was his makeup artist, Romero's makeup artist for years, actually directed the film. I haven't seen it, but that was the main reason why it happened in the first place.
I see. Well, that makes sense. I've heard artists doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of off the subject, but like Taylor Swift did the same thing with some of her early music. Somebody basically robbed her of her, her rights. So she just redid the album.
Yeah.
And now she's got it.
Yeah.
And
it works sometimes. It didn't work for them.
Right. Oh, it didn't work for them.
Yeah.
937-457-1290. Let's talk to Mr. T in Beaver Creek. What's up, Mr. T?
Mr. P.
Oh, Mr. P. I'm sorry. It says Mr. T. But anyway.
Hi, it's a pleasure to talk to you.
Good chatting with you.
So I have an idea for you of like a TV show.
Okay. A character, a TV host, TV horror host character.
Well, it's more of a series show.
Oh, okay. I'm now signed up to do a whole series now. I love it. I love it.
It's a cross between X-Files and Men in Black.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it involves aliens from another planet that come to the U.S.
Uh-huh.
They don't pay their taxes, and you are an IRS agent, and you are dressed in black, and you go after these aliens and put a lien on their spaceship. They can't leave until their taxes and penalties are paid. They have to get jobs, and mystery ensues. I call it Men with Calculators.
All right, Mr. P. I appreciate it. Let's see. It's a good idea. Missy in Bellbrook. What's up, Missy?
Hey, Todd. So has anyone mentioned a Tombstone Todd?
Tombstone Todd. Now, I like that idea.
Yeah. So you could do different stories about the afterlife or reincarnation or how people died from animal attacks, werewolves and vampires.
Interesting.
Kind of
Now, I like the idea of Tombstone Todd. Maybe it's some sort of creepy cowboy.
You could do anything. You can make up whatever character you wanted to do as you want, however you died. If you died as a cowboy or you died as an alien or
okay, I kind of get what you're saying.
Boot Hill.
Yeah, take a character, just not necessarily a spooky character, but you create a character and you write a story about their untimely, spooky, scary demise, and maybe you tell the story about it or something like that. Yeah, that's not bad.
That.
All right, Missy, thank you. Chuck in Vandalia, what's up, Chuck?
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
How about Dr. Voodoo?
Dr. Voodoo. And is he a medical doctor or a witch doctor, maybe? I'm not sure.
Yeah, witch doctor. Voodoo.
Dr. Voodoo. Okay, I got that.
Straight out of Louisiana.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm envisioning the outfit now. So thank you.
Does it include purple and yellow?
It could, sure. Why not?
Because that's how I was looking at it. Big old pimp hat, purple and yellow, purple fur coat.
Fur. Excuse me. Now he's starting to sound a little bit like a pimp.
Superfly.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's it. Maybe it's a spooky haunting pimp.
Yeah.
That's what it'll be. All right, Chuck. Appreciate it. 937-457-1290. Deborah in Beaver Creek. What's up, Deborah?
Hey, Todd.
Hey, Deborah. What's happening?
Not a whole lot. I can't believe I got through, and I can't believe I won the ticket.
Are you going to be there?
I'm going to be there.
Oh, that is
never win
awesome.
anything.
That is
Never.
awesome. Well,
I can't believe it.
Now, see, Deborah is famous on this show.
Okay.
Johnny.
Famous.
Famous. She had some sort of UFO encounter.
Oh, really?
I did.
And she was on one night. She was telling us about it. We have the video, the whole deal.
Man.
Very, very impressive. Very impressive.
Well,
and
seems like you deserve these tickets.
Yeah.
I never win anything. I'm telling you, never. I never win.
So,
and that's not even why I was calling. I was calling to tell you that I had a name for you.
There you go.
Transylvania Todd.
Now, let me just say,
what?
I see some potential problems with this.
What?
Is there a possibility, because Transylvania is such a long word, that some people might shorten it to Tranny Todd?
That could happen.
Or Trans Todd.
Trans Todd, Tranny Todd. Now that right there might be a character.
Yeah.
Toddlevania.
Todd, what'd you say?
Toddlevania.
Todd. You know, one of my nicknames from time to time, I'm referred to as Toddles.
That's a good one.
Toddles.
So what?
Toddlevania.
Toddles. It's something to consider. Something to consider. I don't know. All right, Deborah. Well, thank you and congratulations.
Yeah,
I'm looking
congrats.
forward to seeing you there at the movies. Okay.
Thank you. I'm
We'll look out for you.
excited.
All
Great.
right. See you then. Let's see. Rod in Urbana. What's up, Rod?
Hi, Todd.
Hey.
Well, I had some gaps in listening to your show tonight, but I don't know if this one's been suggested, but an off take of an old monster name. How about Freakenstein?
Freakenstein. I could be a little freaky.
That's got a ring to it,
You know?
for sure.
Yeah,
It's quick,
Freakenstein.
clean.
Right.
I like the idea of one word too.
Yeah,
you
for
know.
sure. Yeah, it just flows, and you don't have to,
My one of my bosses here suggested that whatever character I might do, it might be beneficial to have my name part of it. And he suggested Odd Todd.
That certainly could work. What would you be, just like an insane
I don't
asylum
know.
person?
Yeah, I
or-
don't know. I don't know. I mean, Odd Todd. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it would be.
Yeah.
You know, it's
You could shoot at that old what was it, the old kind of asylum in Dayton.
Oh, yeah, I guess he could be, or maybe I do it in a straitjacket.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can you do that anymore, though? I feel like you might get
a lot of things are sensitive
a lot
now.
of blowback, right? You know, you can't wear a straitjacket on TV.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, Rod, I appreciate your call. We'll take more of your calls coming up, and we'll finish out here with Johnny Catalano talking about Night of the Living Dead next Saturday at the Plaza Theater down in Miamisburg, 7:00. It's the Evening Edge night.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Wrapping things up here with Johnny Catalano from the Plaza Theater. Next Saturday, the 28th, Evening Edge night there at the Plaza. We're going to be showing The Night of the Living Dead. Tickets are $10. You can buy them online or you can buy them there at the theater. And we'll have a Q&A following with John Russo, co-writer of said film. So, Johnny, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks
I
for
appreciate it.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah, as you as well. We have a number of people who are on hold who have ideas for creepy characters. Dan, Bob, and Dougie C. Hang on the line. I'm going to talk to you after the show because I want to hear your ideas. So don't go anywhere. And I will chat with you momentarily. Have a terrific weekend. Don't forget you can follow me on social media at Evening Edge Todd. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And at some point tomorrow, I will be posting my Halloween costume. I'm going to be all done up, going to a costume party tomorrow night. So you'll be able to see what I have chosen to do to myself. So have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you on Monday. Oh, well. All right, folks, the stream is being extended. I'm not going to turn it off, so hang tight. And we're going to talk to a few folks who have been holding on. So, Dan, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, hang on for 1 second. Hang on. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to come right back to you. Hold on.
No problem.
Hey, Dougie? Dougie?
This is WC.
Oh, what is it? WC?
WC from Pleasant Hill.
Okay, hang on for 1 second. I'm going to talk to Dan, and then I'm going to come right to you. It'll just be a minute, okay?
No problem.
Hang on. All right. Dan in Beaver Creek, what's up, brother?
Oh, not much. Hey, I just wanted to say that I think one of the caller that you had in on that gave you the Tombstone Todd.
Yeah.
I think you need to run with that.
You like Tombstone Todd?
I'm telling you, I think it adds the right amount. And the only reason I'm in the horror industry somewhat. I do a lot of prop building for like Land of Illusion and Poise.
Oh wow!
I mean, it adds the perfect element of like kid friendly, but yet somewhat creepy. You could have the scene. Whether you do any stuff on TV, you could have like your own little vault, and you could have a TV that little series would be like Tales from the Vault. Really.
So you like the idea is you like about coming up with characters and creating a spooky or creepy story or whatever surrounding their demise, and I deliver the story in sort of as a character. Is that what you're?
Absolutely. I mean, because like you mentioned, like Dr. Creep, there's a lot of us that grow up with that miss that, and I think especially now, kids don't have that kind of stuff.
Right.
And regardless of whether it's kid friendly or not, you can still appeal to that crowd.
Yeah.
You could this time of year, you could have owners of haunted houses come on your talk show, talk about their stuff, just little things that you could throw out that way. I think it'd be really neat. I really do.
Well,
I'll tell you what, I'd lend my services if you need any prop building.
All right.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome, Dan. Can I get your number? Can I get your number?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
All right, what's your number?
937.
Okay.
609-8113.
8113. Okay. Dan the prop builder. That's why I'm going to put you in my phone. Okay.
Right on.
All right. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No problem.
All right. Take care.
Good night.
All right. Are you there?
Yes, I'm still here.
What now? Did you say WC?
Yep.
Like WC Fields?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know why you put Dougie C, but whatever. What's going on? What's going on, WC?
Well, I was picturing a character.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like an old military radio guy.
Ooh, now I like the idea of.
We don't know whether he's alive or dead. Maybe he should be, but he's a tortured soul.
Right.
You got your Bakelite headphones on.
Right.
Your old threadbare military fatigue.
Yeah.
And you suddenly hear radio chatter you have to respond to. So whatever you're talking about, you have to break in and try to call off an airstrike, or just the guy never left his post.
Captain Creep.
Yeah. Yeah. Captain Creep. Yeah. I like that idea. That's a good idea. That's good stuff.
I was picturing that as kind of a radio tie-in.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I had somebody suggested earlier in the show, since I'm a radio person and a DJ from the future. Now, I don't know about the DJ from the future standpoint, but I like the idea of, I wonder if I could be
some of like
a ghostly DJ, like a DJ that lived back in the 60s or something, or the 70s, you know,
the era of the DJ,
70s is like really sort of popular right now, you know. What's that WC?
Kind of a zombie Johnny Fever
or something. Something like that. Something that would be kind of in the same vein of what I do.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I thought a radio tie-in of sort.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. All right. Thank you, WC. Appreciate it, buddy.
Hey, no problem.
Take care.
With you.
All right, man. See ya. All right, folks. That's the show. Thanks for watching. Though I do like the idea of just sort of letting the stream continue to go. That's not bad. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, Johnny, for coming in and talking about Night of the Living Dead. It's going to be a good night next Saturday, so I hope you can all make it. Have a terrific weekend and enjoy yourselves and be safe. Love y'all.